Today's a brand new day. We are in October. Let's talk IPSY. I did my customizations for the month of October 2 days ago, and let's just say I was pretty impressed with the products featured. I had a moment where I wasn't sure if I wanted this or that, and that usually doesn't happen. And I feel like I contained myself with add-ons, but before we get into it, I wanted to thank you guys once again. You guys have no idea the joy that you have brought to my heart. My collab with Ofra Cosmetics is live. It went live on Sunday. The amount of support has been insane. Like, I didn't even know what to do with it. I was so happy you guys saw the vision. You got it. And then Rhonda released her video. I'll link her video below. I want you guys to go check it out. She created 2 looks in one video. She's freaking fantastic. Listen, she gets it. I'm so happy she loved the blue. That is a blue that would work for so many people, and it's not super intimidating. It's very toned down, very blue, but very toned down. It's not the brightest, it's not the deepest, and it's like the perfect shade to mix with other deeper shades to create your own tones. So I'm really, really excited, and that's what she did. She mixed the gray, she added the blue. Go check out her video. And then she added gliss in the topper. And if you're wondering about the eye look, I did film it. I will add it later in this video for you guys, for those of you who are interested in seeing how I created this look. So many of you have purchased a collab and are requesting looks. Girl, I've got you. No worries. Even if I don't dedicate a full video to the look, I will add looks to my videos so that you guys can still follow them. So no worries. I've got you. And yesterday's video has a look, although I talk a lot because it's like a chit chat, pouring my heart out and like giving you guys the behind the scenes on the collab. Just know there is a look in there with the collab you might be interested in. All right, now let's get into my customization for the month of October for the Boxycharm by IPSY. I don't know why, but when it comes to customization, people get to customize at different times. There have been times where I could log in at 2. There were times that I could log in at 1. There were times that I could log in at 11. I guess it really would depend on when they're done selecting their 2 items for your box. So I feel like it's gonna vary per month. My power picks, which are the 2 items that IPSY chose for me, are going to be the Biro Celery AHA and LHA Resurfacing Serum. I've not tried this product, but Biro was kind enough a few years ago to send their entire line when they launched. I pretty much liked everything. One thing did smell a little off, and I was like, what does it smell like that? Other than that, everything else was freaking fantabulous. So I'm really, really happy that I get to try a resurfacing serum that's new that I haven't tried quite yet. And then they selected the Bienvenidos a Miami palette. This is a mini mix palette by Ofra Cosmetics. And she is going to look like, well, yours will look great, okay? But clearly these bronzer shades are like, because I go to them a lot and that's why it looks nasty. But you've seen me feature this before. I have a whole video on the launch over at Ofra headquarters. They had an event and I was invited. So there's a video for that. I show you guys like the unboxing. I did a giveaway. I'm gonna have another palette to give away because I don't need another one if I have this baby. But size reference, if they selected this for you, she is going to look like this. And this hollow packaging is freaking everything. Listen, you get 2 highlighters, 2 bronzers, and 2 blushes. These shades could be customized for the eyes as well. Ofra products are safe for all over the face, literally eyes. You can apply the powders on your lips. If you wanted to set your lip gloss, the highlighter on the eyes too, like you can just really customize. So if you're getting it in October, get excited. It's a really good one. Moving on to my product selections, they offered 6 options for me to choose from. They had a Huda Beauty Liquid Matte Lipstick, Tease Cosmetics Battle Prep Smoothing Face Primer, a Luminizing Face Moisturizer by Aloe Yoga Skincare, a Plumping Lip Gloss by Rem Beauty, Derm Elect XL Lash Volumizer, which, let me know in the comment section below, but I feel like you guys would remember better than I would. I feel like we've seen this brand before. Maybe not at IPSY. It was a mascara or like a primer or something. Let me know in the comments. I know you guys have to remember because like you guys are better at that than I am. The Volition Beauty Chocolate Macadamia Hydrating Mask. I normally would go for the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte. I went with the Battle Prep Smoothing Face Primer just because I thought it would be something different and something cool to try. So I got a primer. Options for choice number 2 were the Contact Skin Brow Pomade, Rem Beauty Borderline Eyeliner Marker, Huda Beauty Lip Contour, the Sleeky Silky Heat Defense Serum, a 4-piece eye brush by Ace Beauty, and Pomelo & Co's Vanilla Boost Hair Mask. All of those options were actually pretty good. Like even for option number 1, I was like, do I want the liquid lipstick? Do I want the primer? This time around, I was like, okay, I kind of want the Contact Skin brow pomade to try that, but that looks like it's clear. And I was like, no, because then I would have to go in with product, and then I don't want my brows to feel crunchy and hard. But then I was like, okay, maybe the Sleeky hair, like the heat protectant, which I thought about getting. That's what I'm talking about. Out of my 6 options, I also was like, for choice number 2, I was like, I don't know. Do I go with like the heat protectant? Do I get the liner? Do I get the brow pump? I went with the liner. I'll go with the liner. I skipped on the brushes. I'm limiting my brushes to basically what's here. And I know it looks like a lot, but I have like 2 bins filled with brushes over there. Most of my brushes are going to be my BK Beauties because they're like amazing. And then some of my go-tos like the Alter Ego and stuff like that. Other than that, I've really been limiting the brushes that I'm using, so I kind of skipped on that. So this month I still got a Huda Lippy. It's just a lip liner. Then choice number 3 had a few items that I was like, oh, what if, right? And unfortunately, they're not letting us add for like the extra $10, $5, like right off of here. So it kind of was what it was. I had a Formula Z Cosmetics. It is like a stick duo for eyeshadow. The TYS Beauty Cheek Treat Liquid Blush in Drip. Lorenz Skincare Lip Oil, which you automatically know I kind of like out the door when I saw that it was a lip oil, not a gloss. A Farrah Eyeshadow Primer, which I questioned, oh, should I get that? Because it's a new primer that we could try, but I didn't get that. The Dew of the Gods Cucumber, which is funny. It's a cucumber, collagen, vitamin salts. It's like a scrub. I believe it was, is it a scrub? Let's see. It's a scrub. And then a Moisture Elixir by Earth Harbor. Really, out of everything, I was between Farrah, Formula Z, and TYS Beauty. But then I was like, okay, hold on. So they're giving me a serum. They selected a mini mix palette. Choice 1 was a primer. Choice 2 was a lip liner. So I'll get a blush and then I can do like a face, right? So I went with the blush. And I just figured it would be fun to kind of try to create a full face or as close to a full face as possible with the October box. And then we go on to add-ons. I am going to tell you right now, I did good. I think I ended up getting like 3 add-ons. And all the really cheap ones, and I'll tell you why. So when it comes to recommended products, they had so many really great brands. They had Laneige, Tula, Ola Hendrickson, Fresh, all of these full-size products for just $12. Laura Geller Derm Elect Fenty Beauty, all $12. Now here is where the thrifty person in me was like, ah! Okay, so for $3.50, they had deluxes of several great brands like Ciate London, Anastasia, Murad, Elemis, Marc Anthony, Briogeo, Kitsch. But what caught my attention was the Ciate London BB Cream. But I wasn't sure which shade would work for me, but they only had it available in 4 shades. So I ended up getting the 200 and the 300 because I knew 100 would be too light and 400 would be too deep. Either 2 or 3 is gonna work for me. So I went with 200 and 300 and they were only $3.50 a piece. So I get to give it a go and see whether or not the formula is even good for that price point. So I'm not mad at it. And obviously it's a BB cream. You don't need a lot. And I'll get a few uses out of it for just $3.50. And worst case, we'll do what we did before. If one's too light, the other one's perfect. I'll use the perfect one for the skin and then the lighter one under the eyes and we'll just have very light coverage. And then, you know, I went down and I was like, okay, like they have an ABH lip liner, which I was like, I'm not sure if that's full size or if it's like one of those travel lip liners, but it's still good for the price, $3.50. Dr. Brandt, which I was like in shock that they had their Ace Beauty. So we get closer to the bottom, right? And then I see a palette by Lash Step. And I was like, are they giving you just the one pan for $3.50? Or is it like the entire palette for $3.50? Because to me, that's full size if it's a full palette, not a deluxe. So I snagged it because it says it's the full palette. It's the Matte About You. In my humble, I don't even know if I got this already. I gotta check. If I do, I'll just play with the one that I have and I'll place this one in a giveaway. But if I don't, I think it would be a great steal if the quality is good. This reminds me of the Makeup by Mario palette. Tell me I'm wrong. Like the tones. It doesn't have to be spot on, but the tones. So then you go and you have all these other deluxes, which their options for deluxes were amazing. You go back to $12 full-size products. KVD Good Apple Concealer, which I own. It's really good. The Laura Geller palette, which honestly, like, I still have her, but she was slightly disappointing. And way more options. At that point, I just kind of like fast forwarded because I kind of wanted to snag more things, and I was like, you need to stop, because where are you gonna put it? And I behaved myself. They had $18 products, $25 products. When I'm telling you I behaved myself, I behaved myself. But I'm gonna tell you, if you want the retro eyeshadow palette by Natasha Denona, it is only $25 over at IPSY. If it is still available, it is time to snag it, because that sells out really, really fast. And Natasha Denona at $25 is a freaking steal. Those are my customizations. I think the brands featured and the price points were actually really, really good. I'm excited because this time around for the month of October, we can do like the primer, a base. We can use the Ofra palette to do like our cheeks, highlight, blush. Think about it. The eyeshadow palette I snagged, I can do the eyes. They chose the Viral product, so that's skincare. I got the lip liner, it's a lippy. You see what I'm saying? I'm actually looking forward to my box this month. I haven't even played around with it, but they killed it this month. Now you already know, you gotta let me know what were your selections. I'm actually pretty excited to see if you guys got the Ofra palette as an option to add to your box as one of your choices, or if they chose it for you. Now I can show you how I created this look using my Collab palette with Ofra Cosmetics. You already know my lids are prepped, so let's dive right into it. I dipped with a really fluffy brush into truffle. I applied truffle all over the crease and fluffed it out. I blended it pretty close to the brows, and that's because it's a soft brown, so it automatically looks gradient and pretty. I then dipped the tip of my brush into Exquisite, and I concentrated that directly on the crease. Now, I blended back and forth very gently because I don't want it to go too deep, at least not yet. And don't be afraid of the shimmers. As you tap out, some of it goes away. Once you focus the majority of that pigment on the crease and outer corner, bring whatever's left on your brush onto the inner corner of the eye. It's gonna add a little bit of depth and change the shape of your eye just a little bit. In between, I grabbed my big fluffy brush and I blended over Exquisite and Truffle just to make sure they work beautifully together and they're gradient. I then grabbed an angled brush, I wet it with a setting spray, and I dipped into Triple Black. And we went ahead and winged the eye out. Remember, Ofra eyeshadows are wet, dry. So you can create a custom eyeliner with any of Ofra's powdered formulas, including the highlighters and the blushes. I wanted to add a little bit of shimmer to today's look, so we dipped into Glisten and tapped that from the beginning to the middle of the lid. And don't worry, those shimmer particles are going to stay put. With the brush, we applied the gray. I lightly applied whatever's left on the brush under the eye, just to add a little bit of depth, but I'm not smoking it out. I moved on, applied some mascara and falsies, and decided we needed to add a little more depth to the eye. So I grabbed an even smaller brush and dipped the very tip into Triple Black, and then I gently blended that directly on the crease. And then I moved on to applying my cream blush in All Yours. This cream formula is so amazing, you don't have to set it, but I still wanted to apply a little more pigment on the cheeks, so I dipped with the very same brush into Warrior and applied that right on top of All Yours. And for an eye look like this, I wanted to pair it with some juicy, juicy looking lips. So I grabbed a brown lip liner from Nova Beauty. And you already know my dry lips need hydration, so I grabbed Fuzzy, one of my 3 Flexi Slicks from my trio. All right, you guys, and here is the completed look. I really hope you guys like it. Don't forget to chime on in the comment section below. If you enjoy makeup tutorials, product reviews, unboxings, tips and tricks from a makeup artist, I am gonna recommend 2 playlists here on screen for you. I know you're going to enjoy, and I'll see you guys really, really soon. Bye, guys.